Right, guys. So practical, understanding the markets. So I guess the art of trading is the practical side. Okay. Oh, sorry, guys. Sounds good here. Right. Okay. Cheers, guys. Right. We'll go back to the presentation. So the art of trading is getting back to what understands, what both controls you and controls how you interact with the markets. It's really easy, isn't it, to kind of get involved in the markets and understand that it's not for you. I think that's the big thing that I really learned as a young kind of trader, that all these things, stack up against you. There's always somebody else who knows more than you, has more money than you, that knows all the things, that really make you get out of your positions as a trader. What we're trying to do is understand that, there's a $4 trillion market out there, and it's the same for everybody. Everybody can make money, everybody can lose money, and it's all down to this one tiny, 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 I guess, kind of nuance. I don't really know how to describe it. This nuance is that, I understand how I trade, I understand how I make and lose money, and you have to understand the same. It's absolutely imperative that you understand how you interact with the markets, and that is probably one of the worst things that, not the worst things, but, the most difficult things that people have to try and, get on board with. All you got to do is understand that, FX is traded 24/7, buy, sell, $4 trillion. It doesn't really matter what you do. It's inconsequential. It's absolutely inconsequential. I guess after trading for me is really split down to many categories. There's FX trading, indices trading, share trading. All these things are very, very difficult. And for me, I think it always comes back to the main things that I can't really quantify. I can quantify what makes me frightened. I can quite, easily quantify what makes me, get in trades, get out of trades. But I can't do that for you. I can't understand necessarily what makes you, get in trades, get out of trades. This is the really kind of difficult thing that, you know, this is the thing. It's really, really difficult. I mean, I guess that things like FX trading, indices, commodities, bonds, shares, all these things are actually the same thing. You buy something high, you sell something low. They're all exactly the same thing. I think I get really confused when I'm trying to teach people, as I do, through InterTrader, how to, kind of buy things and sell things, and it gets very frustrating because I can't tell people, what is the guaranteed way to make or lose money. It's easy to lose money. It's absolutely easy to make money. It's very difficult to make money. So my thing, the way I kind of teach my strategy is to kind of understand who you are, give you an understanding who you think you are in the markets, and then let you understand what you want to do in the markets. It's very difficult for me to really kind of start my educational style and give you a set parameter. It's really, really difficult, and that's what's always been very, kind of on my mind as I've, taught millions of people, well, not millions of people, hundreds of people to trade. And so what we've got to do now is kind of figure out who you are. This is the whole kind of thing. I mean, this is why Trader have employed me for so long. All I'm trying to do, I guess all I'm trying to do is give you an understanding of, what could potentially happen when you're in the markets. You're going to experience pain. You're going to understand, highs, lows. You're going to understand tolerance, all these different things. And this art of trading is all the things that I've really been battered, with the markets. I mean, it's very difficult to understand, again, how a professional trader trades. Again, that's what I've done through many, many years. But now I'm giving you the opportunity to learn from my experience, but then be involved in your own way. Then the day you're going to trade whatever you want, however you want, buy low, sell high, do whatever you want. These are the differences. And these are kind of the different things that you don't get given. You don't get given at the beginning of your trading career. So you put money in an account, £10,000, you can buy low, you can sell high, do whatever you like. That's a difference. Nobody gives you any kind of understanding of what you want to do. So I guess for me, the real difficulty for forex or FX trading is it's huge. It's much bigger than any trader can actually understand. You can trade gold, you can trade any kind of shares, any kind of anything you want. Products are products. I could sit here, I could trade all the products I'm looking at, the DAX, gold, euro dollar, the pound versus euro dollar, all these different things. I can only trade what I can trade. You can only trade what you can trade. I guess, a lot of people don't realize the correlations. The correlations are quite simple. That things go up, things go down. What's really important to understand is that you might trade a certain currency pair or an indices or gold. It doesn't really matter what you trade. Other people are trading, several things against that. So you might trade gold, you might trade the euro dollar. Okay, so how does gold trade against euro dollar? Well, if gold's going down, that means that the dollar is going down because gold's pricing gold, so people are buying the euro. Easy to think about. These are things you got to think about. These are institutions. These are people that have traded huge amounts of money. Everything we do, we're always on the back foot. Always on the back foot. Things you trade, we're always on the back foot. Because at the end of the day, we trade single, small amounts, retail amounts. All the kind of big guys trade institutional, we trade currency pairs, we trade baskets of currencies, we trade currencies against commodities, and that's the difference. So I guess for me, the art of trading is always about understanding what everyone else knows. We don't really know that much, to be honest, as retail traders. We know high, we know low, we know what to buy, what to sell. But at the end of the day, it's very, very difficult as a retail trader to understand what value is. We're really always, getting involved in the worst points. If the euro dollar's dropped, the 3-4 points, we're always going to lose money by trying to get involved in value. You always understand. When you see a trend, it's always too late. And I guess, things like the indices, stock markets, we've all seen the drop in indices, but what do we do now? Do we buy the indices? Do we sell the indices? At the end of the day, it's very difficult to understand where value is. What, have we sold the indices now at the top? We're going to buy them towards the bottom. I find it very, very difficult to understand, where true value is in the FTSE, the DAX, the CAC, the S&P. At the end of the day, there's all these things we can look at, all these markets we can look at. But at the end of the day, they go up, they go down. And I guess as always, the art of trading is understanding, what really matters. I mean, this is the kind of great thing about history, about trading. In my presentation here, I've got Greece, I've got Germany, all these different things. No one now cares about Greece. Who cares about Greece anymore? Nobody. Nobody cares about Greece. But 18 months ago, Greece was the big thing. Why do we care about Greece? Well, it puts stress on the stock markets, uncertainty. Is Greece sorted now? No. But, again, Brexit, all these different things, are these the things that are going to move the stock markets? And I guess commodities are absolutely massive. Again, who's going to buy gold? I was, very vocal in my opinion on gold. I thought it was going to go down, but now what's it going to do? You're going to buy gold, you're going to sell gold. I think a lot of people are thinking, yeah, definitely buy gold now because that's the place it's going to go because it's a safe haven. Is it safe haven? Maybe it was 10 years ago. Maybe it was, at $900. What? It doesn't matter. Then the day, nobody knows what's going to happen in the future. I think the real thing for me that really frightens me is that people forget things so quickly. This is a Fibonacci, view of gold. So something that's going to happen. It's happened in the past, it's going to happen in the future. So we understand what's going to happen. Okay, so this is a massive amount of understanding of what gold's going to do. So yeah, go up and go down. What do you think? Are you a long-term investor? Are you a short-term trader? This is the difference. You have to understand, what happens. You can buy things, you can sell things, you can do whatever you want. I mean, it's entirely down to you what you do. When they go up, they go up. When they go down, when they go down. I think it's absolutely, fundamentally important. When I talk about fundamentals, I talk about, things happen in the normal environment, from a data perspective, what happens in, kind of any kind of, world perspective, technical perspective. Then the day, you can buy things, you can sell things, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, you've got to get involved in things, and that's, that's what the world does. We buy things when there's value, we sell things when there's value. And again, it's always really difficult for me to kind of tell people, what's what. When you buy things when they're low, sell things when they're high. It it is what it is. I've taught people how to trade for the best part of 10 years, and you buy low, you sell high, but it's how you identify these areas. These low points, these high points. I think what's really difficult for me is that all the things I talk about are conjecture, and they're all, I guess, based upon previous experience. What you want to do is, buy low, sell high, and you want me to tell you when that is. I can't tell you. Okay, there's periods of good points, the blue areas of orange, which are again, very strong periods of buying or selling. Like, blue and red. There's nothing I can do that gives you that absolute freedom, that absolute guaranteed money. There's no guaranteed money. There's no guaranteed money. So I guess when you talk about anywhere it's got areas of interest or anything that's going to help you, it's all about understanding what's going to give you the money, what's going to give you the best intro to the market, what's going to give you the best the most kind of area of interest. All the things you look in the markets are meant to really hurt you. They're all meant to hurt you, and that's what really kind of gets me. Everything you look at is meant to make you distracted. It's meant to give you something that doesn't give you a true view. Something that's meant to give you a different kind of kind of a different view on the markets. That's all I can say. Everything the market wants to do makes you want to think you're wrong. Always you're wrong. And that's what's really, really difficult. Because if you look at the markets, we all look at it the same way. We all look at it the same way and think, yeah, you know what? I understand it's going to go up, it's going to go down. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. And that's what's really, really, kind of massively difficult. I mean, the markets are, hugely difficult, to to give you that kind of understanding of what should be. You know, the markets will up, they'll go down. That is absolutely how markets work. But at the end of the day, it's all down to you, how you make your money, what you do, what you think is right, what you think is wrong. I think for me, the art of trading is, absolutely massively difficult. I've been involved in the market for so long that I don't really know. I don't really know anymore, to be honest, what the absolute art of trading is. What it is something that gets you interested. It gets you interested. It gets you interested in the markets. It, makes you do things, that are right at the time. I think the whole point is about, trading is, it's all about being right at the right time. Being right at the right time, is massively important. Being right in the markets at the right time is massively important. It's not about having an opinion. Having an opinion is, it's already a few steps back. Being right at the right time is, that is what people want. So understanding the art of trading is, as always, it's very difficult for me to explain to you guys. It's understanding that the art of trading is knowing the daily range. Knowing what is a high and what's a low. What the product should do. I can't tell you what the Eurodollar is going to do tomorrow. I can't tell you what the DAX is going to do. It's all about understanding, what's going to happen. It's all about managing these expectations, and these are the things that absolutely kill me as a trader myself. Understanding expectations. What's going to go up? What's going to go down? These things are really difficult. The skill for me about trading is always about putting yourself in a position where you sat there and you're on your own. It kills me so many times. I've been sat here on the at my office on the back of so many massive losses. And that's the way it goes. Sometimes you lose money. Sometimes you lose money. Sometimes you make money. This is the whole thing. It's really, really difficult to know, when you're right and when you're wrong. But this is life. This is all things you understand with. I can tell you everything to do with trading. When you buy, when you sell, fundamental, technical, what's this, what's that. At the end of the day, I can't tell you how to make money. That's the difference. I guess when we look in the perceived kind of value of, what is true value, what is style, this is where it gets really difficult. It gets really, really difficult. Again, I can't understand what kind of trader you are. Are you an outright trader? Do you stops? Are you a hedger? Do you average? What do you do? What do you do? These are the things, aren't they? These are the things that I don't know about you. But these things that the market knows about you. So you have to understand that everything I know, the market knows. So understand that every time that we get involved in the market, if you buy, if you sell, if you hedge, if you don't hedge, whatever your stop is, all these things are absolutely known by the market. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do the market doesn't know. And that's what's really, 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 really difficult because, you can buy things, you can sell things. The market knows exactly what your position is. And it's not that the market knows that position because it understands where you buy or sell. It understands because that's what the market does. The market exists to understand what you do. Okay? That's what it understands what you do. It buys low, it sells high. That's what you do. You buy low and you sell high. And the market knows exactly, what you do. I guess, going into trading, when it's a bias, it's very, very difficult. Buying and selling stuff, is hugely, hugely important. When you buy things, when you sell things, it's good to have that commitment and good to have that kind of idea what can happen. But we don't know what's going to happen in the future, do we? So we buy things low, we sell things high, and that's exactly what we have to do. But it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to happen. This is the really difficult thing about trading. I guess that the direction is not always the most important thing about trading. Direction is important because everything needs direction. You buy things low, you sell things high, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing it at the right time. You can buy things low, sell things high, for sure. But again, it's all down to timing. It's all down to individual preference. It's individual preference is what separates intraday traders from long-term traders. That's the whole point why these things are so difficult. I guess a lot of people really stop trading intraday because they can't deal with volatility. They can't deal with the element of time, and that is something I've had to really readdress over the last few years because even I can't deal with the time. The time of buying and selling things is absolutely critical. And I can buy things on a 15-minute candle, an hourly candle. I can do all sorts of things, but it's massively difficult to be involved in things in the very short time. The very short time, which is huge. Now, Andrew's saying, so you don't use money management. Okay, I don't use stops. I don't use stops, which is very dangerous and very kind of difficult for people to understand. I mean, not using a stop is with the size I use, it's practically impossible. I trade £1,000 a point. Okay, so on intraday you can only trade £500 a point. So I average in, and I trade between 500, maybe 13, 14, £1,500 a point average. So I can't use a stop. I cannot use a stop. A physical stop is just too difficult. But again, it's down to you. Do you average? Do you use one price where you buy, one price where you sell? Again, all these things are down to you. So, I guess after trading, now what? Understand where we buy, where we hold, what a conviction is. Then the day, if it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't right. And that's the real thing we have to understand, that when you buy things, you sell things, you're absolutely on your own. You're completely on your own. Okay? So don't be scared. Don't worry about things. If you buy things, if you sell things, it's your decision. You're in control. As long as you have an understanding of what you can lose or what you can buy, well, let's face it, you're kind of always on the right side of these things. For me, data trading is understanding you're not alone. Over trading is easy. Understanding that you trade things you don't understand, easy. Understanding you lose money, easy. Everything you do is designed to be wrong. It's designed to be wrong. Why? Because everybody around you, yep, all the traders, all the guys, that have the kind of big accounts and all the kind of guys that have these, institutional views, they're meant to push us around, destroy us, not destroy us, but push us out of positions, and that's what is really, really difficult. I mean, I would say when it goes back to my absolute basis of trading, that it's very difficult to, and again, I said very difficult a million times tonight. It's very difficult to understand how you think about things. It's very difficult to think about, how you think your art of trading is. For me, I have traded for 15 years, huge amounts of money. And I win, but I also lose. That is the absolute thing for me. I lose. I lose money. And that's the difference. I get involved in trades and I lose money, and that is just the way it goes. And it's not because I'm a bad trader. It's not because I don't know the market. It's not because of anything. It just, that's the way it goes. You make money, you lose money. It's all about that balance. All right, guys. Well, obviously Andy said quite a few words. You understand about the psychology, money management, percentage. Again, I can't really, tell you what these percentages are. They're all part of what they are. They're all, again, they're all, you buy, you sell it. This presentation tonight is not about the nuts and bolts. It's all about the absolute art of trading, the tiny, tiny nuances that kind of get you through that. No, Alf, I can tell you right now, if you've got a big enough pot, you always need stop losses. I've been stopped out for huge amounts of money. Huge amounts of money. You always need a stop loss. But again, it's all down to what you want to try to achieve. If you're trading with £5,000 account, then you probably don't need a stop loss because it's only £5,000 account. If you're trading with £100,000, £500,000, £1,000,000 account, maybe you do. Well, I think that's pretty good. 20 pip stop, but always open when you lose. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yes, absolutely, Andrew. All these webinars are recorded, so you can definitely, definitely watch them back. Again, these are all kind of, theory-based webinars. So look back to my kind of live webinars when I traded non-farm payrolls or GDP. These are kind of things that will give you the big kind of ideas of what's going on. I mean, these are all very, again, going back to basics. What do you want to think? What do you want to learn? They're all very very rational, and that's, I guess, very less exciting. But it's the way we should be. I definitely remember, yeah, definitely recommend tight stops. I mean, all these things that I teach, again, are theoretical. It's very easy for me to say what I do, how I make my money. But at the end of the day, it's how you make your money. If you can't make money every week, every month, every quarter, every year, then what's the point? I cannot tell you. Okay, Andrew, I recommend stocks for you. You trade whatever account. How much money have you got, Andrew? I've got £1,000,000 account. What do you trade? I can't tell you to trade like me because what's the point? Okay? I want 1,000,000. So what's your stop on 40k? Right. How many times do you hit that then, Andy? How many times do you hit that? 6 out of 10. Okay. So you're still profitable. Well, I'm going to be honest, Andy, Andrew, you've got the best kind of, best outlook of many people in this room. Okay. So great. Thing for me is how do you take it to the next level? It's called trading. Right. Okay. Yes. Well, I mean, you probably read a book. I mean, this whole point about talking about trading, I mean, it doesn't matter, what Andrew thinks, what Davor thinks. I can only tell you, what the world is all about trading. I've written books. I've got my own hedge fund. I'm teaching you how to trade. You listen to me for free. I can only tell you what I know. I'm not trying to say that everything I know is the best. I'm, you know, I'm, you see, I mean, well, I was right. Maybe it's after my job. I mean, you, well, I was right. Maybe it's after my job. I mean, you can take my job, Alf, Davor, anybody else, Andrew. You can take my job. I don't try and kind of. I'm trying to be honest with these things. I've been in the markets for a long time. These things are very difficult. I'm not trying to tell you I can give you the green light to trade, or I can just tell you how to make money. It's very difficult. All I'm trying to do is say to you that I understand that it's very difficult. I understand that I've been in the situation. I've taught more people to trade than you guys know. I've traded more money than probably anybody else you're going to listen to that gives you free information. So again, it's really difficult. I guess probably at the end of the day, it's this is just the art of trading. This is a really difficult, kind of course that I've written, and I don't like doing it because a lot of people don't appreciate it. It's really difficult for me. Again, I've said difficult so many times tonight that it's making me annoyed. I don't give you any information that I wouldn't do myself. Okay? I don't need your approval. I don't need anybody's approval in this room tonight. It costs me nothing to be the chief market strategist instructor. I get paid a lot of money to turn up and tell you what you should know. You don't know what I know. Okay? You've not been experienced to understand what I know. So all I can tell you is what I believe is the best things to know, and that's it. That's all I do. I bring you all the information I can. If you do like it, great. If you don't like it, again, I can't sit here and apologise for these things. Advice for accepting losses. Again, deepen. Great question. The second you think it's too much, take it. That is it. The second it's too much, take it. Because the one time you get out of it, get out of jail card free, and you think, yeah, I got rid of it, got that loss. I came back to a little bit. It's fine. That's the one time you lost it. You lost the plot. Get out of stops always with stops. As in, if it's the worst stop, get out. If it's a stop you've set, get out. All you gotta do is always, I guess, be consistent. Be consistent with losses and stops. Get out of stops when you need to. I think the time frame for a stop is absolutely impossible. It depends how aggressive you are. It depends how long you're going to stay in the trade. It depends how much money you've got in your account. I can't tell you, what's the right time frame for a stop. You generally know, don't you, when a stop's enough. It goes once, it goes twice. When it goes a third time, you know. Well, listen, guys. I mean, I think the art of trading is for me. It's quite a personal thing, and it's makes me laugh sometimes. The amount of time, the amount of sleepless nights I've had about how I've traded, how I've interacted with the markets and what I've done, and I'm only trying to give you an honest opinion of what you should try and do. At the end of the day, you got your own trading account, you got your own money, you do whatever you want. If you're up, you're up. If you're down, you're down. What can I say? I cannot change what you do. The only thing is I can give you is the honest opinion of somebody who has given his all. And again, that's really what it's all about. So, when to buy low, sell high, you'll understand about trading. You do whatever you like. It makes no difference to me. The whole point is, if you listen to what I say, I'm going to give you some, fairly honest and fairly kind of straightforward understandings about when once you get involved with the markets and you buy and sell and what trading's all about, and to say that it is difficult. It is the most difficult thing you can do. Alright guys, well listen, I think it's probably time to call it a night. The art of trading course is, I think for me, very, very difficult. I think I might stop doing it after tonight because, people, they listen to it, they get it, they don't get it. I don't really know. I don't really have to do these things, to be honest. I'm rich enough. But if you like it, you understand it, fine. If you don't, ask some questions, at Steve Ruffley on Twitter. And if, anything else, guys, just ask an trader. Alright, guys, been a pleasure.